You can support In the Past Lane by buying some of our merchandise, like shirts, hoodies, mugs, and stickers. Just go to our website, inthepastlane.com. Thanks.
Whoa, hit the brakes. You've arrived at the #1 drive-by for American history. Welcome to The Pit Stop. Brought to you by In the Past Lane, the podcast about history and why it matters. Here's Edward T. O'Donnell, your host and historian at large.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Pit Stop, your Monday source for history on the go in just about 5 minutes. If you're new to the podcast, we offer this feature every Monday, in addition to our full feature episodes. Here's what happened in American history the week of October 14th. Let's start with birthdays. October 14th, 1644, colonial governor William Penn was born in London. In 1681, King Charles II granted him a vast landholding in North America to pay debts he owed to Penn's father. William Penn traveled to this land in 1682 and established the colony of Pennsylvania, which became noted for its toleration of different religious beliefs and, relatively speaking, fairly peaceful relations with local Native Americans. William Penn once said of his religious toleration policy, "Force may make hypocrites, but it can never make converts." October 16th, 1758, lexicographer, writer, and education reformer Noah Webster was born in Hartford, Connecticut. Webster went to Yale College and then embarked on a career as a teacher in 1778. He soon came to believe that since the United States was now an independent nation, it should no longer rely on language textbooks published in England. There was only one problem. There were no American textbooks. So he wrote his own, in particular one titled The American Spelling Book, published in 1783. This book remained in print for more than a century, selling more than 100 million copies. Webster's next project was to compile a dictionary that reflected American culture and democratic values, as well as American usage and spelling. His masterwork, The American Dictionary of the English Language, was published in 1828. It's the primary reason why Americans spell so many words differently from their English counterparts. For example, the word color, without a U, and theater, ending in the letters ER rather than RE. Today's Merriam-Webster dictionary traces its lineage to Noah Webster's original. This week we mark the birthdays of two literary giants. Playwright Eugene O'Neill was born October 16th, 1888 in New York City. O'Neill wrote many award-winning plays, but his most celebrated was Long Day's Journey into Night. Also born this week was playwright Arthur Miller, who was born October 17th, 1915, also in New York City. He's best known for the plays Death of a Salesman and The Crucible. Arthur Miller once wrote in one of his plays, "Maybe all one can do is hope to end up with the right regrets." Rock and roll pioneer Chuck Berry was born October 18th, 1926 in St. Louis, Missouri. Berry emerged in the 1950s with a series of hit songs which included Maybelline, Roll Over Beethoven, and Johnny B. Good. Chuck Berry once said, "I grew up thinking art was pictures until I got into music and found I was an artist that didn't paint." And what about events? October 15th, 1965, the first organized burning of draft cards takes place in 40 locations across the United States. The protest had been organized by the National Coordinating Committee to end the war in Vietnam. David Miller, a young pacifist, burned his draft card at a protest in New York and became the first person arrested for doing so. He was arrested by the FBI, tried, found guilty, and sentenced to 2 years in prison. October 16th, 1859, 160 years ago this week, abolitionist John Brown launched his raid at Harpers Ferry, Virginia. Brown and his followers had intended to seize the arms stored at a federal facility there and then use them to instigate a massive slave revolt that would roll across the South and end slavery in the land of liberty. But the raid failed and John Brown was captured. He was later executed by the state of Virginia for treason. Many historians credit Brown with hastening the coming of the Civil War. This week marks the anniversary of two key battles in the American Revolution. October 17th, 1777, American forces defeated the British at the Battle of Saratoga. It was this key victory that convinced France to join the war on the side of the Patriots. And if you want to learn more about the Battle of Saratoga, check out In the Past Lane episode 41. 4 years and 2 days later, on October 19th, 1781, at Yorktown, Virginia, British forces under the command of Lord Charles Cornwallis surrendered to General George Washington, commander of the Continental Army. This effectively ended the American Revolution. And if you want to learn more about the Battle of Yorktown, check out In the Past Lane episode 65. October 20th, 1973, President Richard Nixon ordered his Attorney General to fire Watergate Special Prosecutor Archibald Cox. The Attorney General refused and resigned. So too did the Deputy Attorney General. The firing was eventually carried out by Solicitor General Robert Bork. The firing and 2 resignations, coming amid mounting revelations of wrongdoing on the part of Nixon and his underlings, became known as the Saturday Night Massacre. It's considered one of the key turning points in the Watergate saga. Okay, time for the last word. Let's give it to abolitionist John Brown, who, 160 years ago this week, launched his raid at Harper's Ferry to end slavery. Here's a portion of what he said in court during his trial for treason. "I believe that to have interfered as I have done, in behalf of God's despised poor, was not wrong but right. Now, if it is deemed necessary that I should forfeit my life for the furtherance of the ends of justice, and mingle my blood further with the blood of my children, and with the blood of millions in this slave country whose rights are disregarded by wicked, cruel, and unjust enactments, I submit. So let it be done." Okay, people, that's your history fix for the week. Now put it in Drive and go make your own history.